Hi everyone, I'm Chef Sonia Cuffy from the beautiful island of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And for our Caribbean Christmas special, I'm going to be making for you my mom's callaloo soup and fish cakes. So let's get started. In my mom's callaloo soup, I prefer beef. So I have a nice piece of beef that I've seasoned with my own secret green seasoning. And usually I steam my callaloo, let it simmer, pulse it. I have pumpkin, okras, some carrots, and I add corn to it. Coconut milk, which heightens the flavor. And of course, Irish potato helps sticking it up. And then I have my provision, green banana, yam, and tanya, which I love in my soup. And for me, you can't have soup without dumpling. So I have some dumpling already set and ready to go, and this is a cornmeal dumpling. That's gonna tie everything together. Before I put pot to fire, I gotta put on my official ratatouille chef hat, people. Let's get cooking. First, I put on my meat that has been parboiled, and I'm adding my callaloo. And then I add my coconut milk. And I'm gonna let this come to a boil and let all the flavors marry and let everything bubble for about a half an hour before I start adding in the provision and all the other stuff. Smell good already. Tastes good. So, while my callaloo soup is start boiling up and all the flavors are marrying, I'm gonna show you what I do for my fish cakes. I have dry batter that I use. I can tell you that there's some flour in it, there's a little bit of thyme in it, lots of love, but I have to keep the rest to myself. I also put chopped green peppers in it, and I like to put some onions in it as well. I find that heightens the flavor. And dry thyme. That is a must for me, I keep on my counter. And I like to put the different color peppers in there because I like to see the color in the fish cake. So I have some green pepper, some red pepper, and some yellow pepper here. So I like to put a bunch of that in there. And a must for me, fresh garlic. And then I have my flavor pepper here. Smells nice. And of course, lots of chive. Lots and lots of chive. And I have 2 eggs here with some water that I'm gonna whisk. This is my wet ingredient. And that's gonna get poured in here once I incorporate all my dry ingredients together with my vegetables. This, once you put the egg in there, it's gonna bind it and solidify it. So we pour that in there. And we're gonna incorporate all of this together. If you're working a fish cake batter and you find it a bit tight, just add a bit of water to it until you get to the consistency that you want. I like it to be a bit loose, but not too loose at the same time. So when I put it in the pot, it stays together. And once all that is incorporated together, you can't forget the baking powder or your fish cake ain't gonna rise. So I put like a teaspoon of baking powder. And I always like to add a little bit for good measure. That's what my heart tells me to do. And I cook from my heart. So you get this all mixed and making sure the baking powder is incorporated throughout the batter. So this is what I look for. Not too loose, not too tight. So when you drop it in, you can hear that sizzle. And look at the colors in there. You can smell the thyme. You can feel the love. can hardly wait to taste this. So while I'm waiting for my pot to heat up here to make my fish cake, let me check for my soup. Well, that looks good. Right now we're gonna start adding in my other things. Adding in the provision. Like I said, I'm adding green banana, tania, and yam. Not forgetting my Irish potato. And I have my carrots. That gives a nice little boost in the color and a little sweetness. And the pumpkin, when that melts, that brings everything together. And I have my corn. And then everybody's gonna be happy cooking at the same time. So let me give this a spin up. Okay. So while my soup is bubbling up and it's looking really, really good, smells good, I'm gonna start making my fish cakes. I have my pot heated here. I put my oil in. I just use a spoon. That's the way my mom used to do. Yep. Growing up, this used to be nice between two slices of bread. Look forward to having fish cakes. Well, it's about 4 minutes, so I'm going to flip these babies over. And this is exactly what you're looking for. Golden brown. And when you flip them, you push them down to open them out. So that means they're going to cook evenly from the inside out. So you just take your time when you flip each one. And you just push them down. Patience is a virtue. You just keep flipping. That's exactly what you're looking for. And I can see the contrast with the various peppers that I use. I can see the color contrast coming through in the fish cake. And that's what I'm looking for. And it highlights the flavors as well. You can taste the freshness and the crispness of the peppers when you bite into it. So now we have these flipped. We're going to give it another few minutes. And these are all going to be set to go. So I'm ready to take my fish cakes out. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Golden brown on each side. So I just take them one by one with a fork. Let that oil drain off. And I put them directly into a paper towel. And absorb all that oil. Smells so good. I wish my mom could have eaten one of this right now. There we go. My soup is at that point right now where I can add in my dumplings. Everything smells so good. So I'm just gonna start rolling off my dumplings, and I like to make them small when I'm making my soup. So I like to make little round ones like this, and little spinners, some long ones like that. So I just interchange. I make a round one, a long one, until everything is in the pot. And at the same time, I'll add my okras. I always like to add the okra at the end with the dumplings because they take the shortest time to cook. And I like my okras to be soft but not all, mushed through my soup. And this is gonna simmer for another 10 minutes. And I'm gonna check on it. The okras and the dumplings should be all ready, because once the dumplings float, then it's all ready to go. Look at that. Thick, rich, I could feel the flavors resonating throughout the soup. Just gonna have a bowl of this soup right now. And some of the beef, some of the dumpling, some of the okras. There we go. It's gonna be a Merry Christmas indeed. And Mama's gonna be happy.
Now, you know, this is my favorite part of the show where I get to taste all this amazing food. So good, so good. Oh, sorrel. Perfect, perfect. Thank you so much, Chef Sonia, for giving us a little piece of the St. Vincent and Grenadines for our Caribbean Christmas show. And you're watching Caribbean Vibrations. Season's greetings. Happy holidays. Caribbean Vibration.